everybody, it's Amy from Lose with Amy, and I got all dressed up to take a few pictures of the new outfit I got at Target, and I figured I might as well do a video. I can talk about yesterday's egg fast, and I have struggled through my own fault with kind of hovering around the 190, 188, 89 area for a really long time, and by really long I mean a couple months, and I'll go up and down a little bit. I think my lowest was like 185, and I just seem stuck there. And part of it, like I said, is my own fault. I haven't been super strict with my diet, because the one thing about keto that I like is that it doesn't feel like you're dieting. So I tend not to be super tough on myself, because I'm eating kind of all the right things. Just I tend to eat a little too much of it. I think the pork rind nachos every night definitely got to me a little bit, just because it does add a lot more calories, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, but you don't have to count that on low carb. But for me, I actually tend to have to count them a little. I can't just eat, you know, a ton. So I do kind of watch that stuff, but not as closely as I should have. And I went on a couple of vacations where I just didn't, you know, I ate whatever. So anytime I would lose, then I would gain a couple pounds back, and then it's almost like restarting. So as a result, I ended up kind of stuck in the same, sort of not going up, but not really going down as much either. So I decided to try the egg fast, and as you saw from my little Instagram stories yesterday, and it's not that it went bad. I did eat, you know, my egg meals for all 3 meals, but it wasn't, you know, most people do an egg fast for like days, like at least 3 to 5 days, and I couldn't even think of doing it again today. I just couldn't. It was too many eggs for me, I think. I didn't feel that great yesterday, which, you know, sometimes is common when you change your eating and tighten up or do things a little different. For me, yesterday, that was like not eating a lot of vegetables, and I'm used to eating vegetables. So at the end of the day, I did like splurge and had my sugar snap peas, which is pretty much the vegetable I've been eating a lot of. But the meals were good. I have to say, I'm glad I did it, because all 3 meals I had were really good, and I'm gonna keep on making those actually during this week. I'm just not gonna eat them for every single meal. You know, like maybe I'll have like that cream cheese egg pancake like one night, or maybe for lunch I'll have the egg salad, or breakfast, you know, like I'll incorporate some of that, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that for all 3 meals again. That was too much. You know, I was kind of like, is it okay to eat this many eggs? Like, and I had seen people saying that online. And then there was a really comforting, when I was Googling, my nose ring's out of place. When I was Googling, somebody was like, well, there's really no research on eating 6 eggs a day. And I was like, oh God, I'm sure some people do it. It just felt wrong, you know what I mean? So I liked every single egg meal I had. I just, you know, it was too much. So it did, however, drop me like 2 pounds on the scale. So this morning when I weighed myself, I was down 2 pounds. So, I mean, that's what it's used for. It's kind of to break stalls and things like that. For me, it was good as kind of realigning my eating and kind of saying, okay, like instead of having, you know, my normal breakfast like I've been having lately is I get a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from McDonald's, and then I throw out the biscuit. But like, you know, sometimes there's little biscuit pieces stuck to it and stuff like that. It's a little bit of carb creep, I think, on my hand too. I tend to, you know, do stuff like that, or eat a lot of like sugar snap peas, like literally an entire bag of sugar snap peas, which aren't, if you're thinking, well, peas aren't allowed, but these are, the carb count isn't that high on sugar snap peas. They're the long ones. They're almost like a green bean, but they have like the little peas inside, and the carb count isn't, you know, outrageous. But when you eat an entire bag, like the big bag, as I have been known to do. And of course, if I'm eating that with ranch dressing, you're adding a ton of stuff. So this was good for me, at least this egg fast thing, to get me more focused and to come up with some more ideas. I'd never tried the cream cheese pancakes before. I've made variations of them, not with cream cheese, But I have made kind of like an egg pancake before, and this was really a good, because I was like, you know what, I really like that. Like, it tasted really good, and it tasted just like a pancake. If you want to make it, it's 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, and then just put it in like a bullet blender, blend it around, cook it. I served it with butter and the Walden Farms calorie-free, carb-free, everything free. It's the Walden Farms stuff is scary if you ever looked into it, because they make dressings and they make like the syrup that have no calories, no carbs, but also no sugar alcohols that I can see. So it's like, what's in it? Like, why does it taste, because they taste pretty good, but you don't know what's in it, and I think it's just got flavoring and then something to give it like a texture. But it's the most craziest thing, because I had used them way back in my old low carb days, and it disturbed me then too, so it still disturbs me, but it tasted just like a pancake. So that definitely, I think I'll be having that for dinners, kind of like a breakfast for dinner thing, because you know, it's not something I want to make in the morning because it's kind of a pain in the ass. I can't bring it for lunch because I'll be at work. So dinner time is when that cream cheese pancake will probably be most appropriate. And then the egg salad I made actually might be a good breakfast. I forgot to get bacon today, so I need a breakfast, or I need to buy bacon in on the way to work at my McDonald's, because I get coffee every day at McDonald's, which is why I always try to find a breakfast from there. But that was my egg fast. So, you know, I might do that every now and then when I feel like I need like a little boost or something. It wasn't horrible. I did feel a little crappy. During the day, I felt a little weak, you know, and again, I was eating probably less than I normally eat, or eating a different variety of foods, you know, so I don't know. I'm not totally against it, and I think kudos to anybody who can do that for more than a day, because I just was like, no thank you. But it was decent. So then today I went to the store to get groceries, and I should have done a grocery haul video to show you all what I got, but what is my meal for this week? So I'm gonna do the egg salad probably for breakfast, or bacon with the cream cheese with that everything bagel seasoning. I love that. Like, it's so good. The cream cheese with the everything bagel seasoning is good on anything. You could put it on anything and it'll taste good. Everything bagel seasoning in general is good on anything. So something like that will be my breakfast. Lunches, I am going to make a beef, it's like a ground beef recipe, kind of, you know, I don't know what it was, I can't even remember what it was called, but it's very similar to the egg roll in a bowl. The recipe looked almost identical, but it had the addition of beef broth in it. So I'm gonna try that and see how that goes with the riced cauliflower. I'll post like a picture or a recipe later. And then I got some shakes for snacks. And then what was dinner? Oh, dinner will be the cream cheese pancake. And then I've got, if I run out of any of this, which I may, because I seem to run out of food like midweek. I had a really good last week. I bought a pre-made, it was like beef, almost like a beef roast, but it was all pre-made. You just reheated it. And then I put that with some of the mashed cauliflower that, it was like a sour cream and chives flavor. It was really good. And I was bringing that to work like for the last 2 or 3 days of work last week. And it was easy, it wasn't a pain, it was filling, and the numbers were really good. So that was nice, and that's my backup in case I run out. I also bought 2 of the Quest pizzas, which I like to have on hand these days. I try to keep 1 or 2 in the freezer just in case I'm having like one of those nights. It's good for like a Friday or a Saturday when you want like something like pizza. So it's nice to have. And those Quest pizzas always do me right. Like, I was really, really worried when I first had them because the carb count was like high, like 20 something, but the fiber count was almost as high. So it ended up being like 6 net carbs for like half the pizza, which is pretty reasonable. And it's satisfying. It tastes like a normal pizza. So I stock up on them, and my grocery store now carries them. So that is thankful. And then I think that's it. I got some moon cheese, the pepper jack moon cheese as a snack. I like to have those. Those are easy to bring to work if I need like a little, but I have to watch it because sometimes I just like mindless eat, you know. And I'm trying to do less of that. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm trying, you know, intermittent fasting sort of works for me. It's like on the weekends, I'm good at it. During the week, not so much. And I think it's just work is too, it's like a little too chaotic, and I always feel like I need a breakfast. But that is something I'd like to try a little more, you know, just to help. But I'm hoping to get out of the 180s. I'm at 187.2 this morning. So I expected I was gonna have some troubles. I had itchy hair today. I just did my hair with the henna. Looks nice, right? Like very red. But I got hair like everywhere. I just totally lost my train of thought. I got all distracted. Now I can't even remember. I gotta rewind to see what I was even talking about. Oh my God. Well, whatever it was, it must not have been important. I can't believe I just did that. Like literally, it's gone. Whatever I was talking about like 5 seconds ago, gone. Completely gone. Wow. Well, anyway, that's probably a good time to end it. Like my brain is just like shutting down. So just a quick video to tell you what I'm eating this week, how the egg fast went. If you have any questions, hit me up. I did change my name again. I am now Lose with Amy because I needed the motivation to get this done. And oh, I was talking about my weight. So I'm 187, and I'll get there eventually. And I did expect this the closer I get to 180, I fully expect this to be hard and to be a challenge because my former fat weight was 179. Like when I went on a diet years ago and lost a bunch of weight, my top weight then was 179, and I had been that for a while. So I'm finding that when I hit these kind of major like milestones or whatever, my body like fights me really hard. But once I get past them, I'm usually okay, but I definitely have been struggling as I get closer and closer to like the 179 area. It seems harder, and it seems harder, you know, when I lost before, that was probably 10 years ago, I was in my 30s, and it wasn't easy, but it definitely feels harder. You know, I'm in my 40s now, and it just seems harder. It doesn't, stuff I used to do back then doesn't work now. You know, everything I think kind of slows down and it becomes a little more difficult. So I'm working through it, but I will get there. I'm feeling very positive. The outfit that I'm wearing, you can't see it, but I have pictures online, and I'll post some with the article that goes with this. But I'm in 12s now, which is pretty amazing. I will probably not consistently 12s, but I think I've bought several 12s now. So I'm getting closer to feeling like I'm moving down a little bit in clothes size, even if the scale isn't moving, which is odd. But it happens. I don't know. When I was this weight a billion years ago, I just looked so different. It's weird. Losing all the weight back then kind of reshaped my body, and I know that, you know, they say there's no such thing as like spot toning or whatever, but I definitely lost weight in certain areas to where I think I look thinner now at a heavier weight, if that makes sense. Because I feel like I'm looking now like I looked back then at a lower weight, even though I'm higher. So it's been baffling to me this time around, but I'm getting her done. I'll get there. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. But have a good day. Have a good Sunday, and Lose with Amy.